no, your eyes are not deceiving you. I'm back on YouTube. Hi, hope you're good. Hope you've got your iced coffees ready, because I need to catch up. So I've got a little get ready with me, a life update. Got lots to tell you, and I miss this. I miss us just sitting, getting down to the nitty gritty. I'm hoping to be back for good. Guess who's back? Sadie's back with the regular uploads, so please subscribe and stay on my channel. I'm gonna try and be a better person, I promise. Okay, let's get into the video. Oh lads, I hope you are ready for the yap session, the catch up of the century, because why have I not been on YouTube for so long? I really miss it. I really miss you. I feel like when you haven't seen your mate for ages and you're like, look girls, let's get the cup of tea and just settle in for a catch up. Also, has anyone else been like taken to the depths of hell with the flu that has been going around in the UK? Like, honey, why is it such a British thing when when someone gets ill, you go, oh, there has been something going around lately? But there has, right? Like, everyone who I speak to is like, not okay. I'm feeling in the mood to, yeah, get glam. I'd recently discovered this Sol de Janeiro Glow Motions skin oil. So nice when you're going out because it reflects off the light. You just have that like sexy wet skin. I don't just think the worst part of being ill is how bored you get. Like, honestly, there's only so much bed rotting I can do. Yes, it is my favorite hobby, but even I have a limit, and there's only so much bloody reality TV I can watch. Talking of reality TV, that brings you to the first thing I need to update you on. You might have heard through the grapevine or seen on my Instagram, I've gone on a dating show. Am I okay? Am I actually alright? Because I don't know what possessed my mind to think going on a show called Love Triangle would be like the best idea. I think I just was like, YOLO, let's say yes to opportunities, let's have fun, not really deeping the fact that like the concept is someone is dating two people. Of course there's gonna be drama, of course it's gonna be hard at times, and I just mentally thought, yeah, I can handle it. A bit of a laugh, but you will have to see what goes down. It is on E4, Monday to Wednesdays at 9 PM. The first 3 episodes are already out, so they are on 4OD, iPlayer, whatever. You can go catch up with all the dramas. I don't want to put too many spoilers in case people haven't seen it, but I am not a picker. So a picker is like the main character person who gets to date 2 people, okay? They get to be a bit of a legend. Have 2 girls on the go, 2 guys on the go, and that's what I wanted to be. I think most of us wanted to be that when we were casting for the show, but obviously I am not the head producer, I don't make the decisions. I was imagining I was gonna be like Katniss Everdeen, Bella Swan, 2 guys fighting over me, like love triangle. That was not the case, babes. That was not the case. I was a suitor trying to be picked. Pick me, girl. And we had to text the guy and see if he picked us based on our personality, and this is a spoiler, I didn't get picked. I don't know who you think you are. I didn't actually care too much. I was just annoyed because obviously we packed our bags and then it was like, oh, he didn't pick you, so you've got to wait. I was like, I packed my bag, like I'm ready to go. I've got my outfits, and I was like, oh, just sat at home twiddling my thumbs waiting to go in to meet him. Like, hello. But in hindsight, and hindsight is a beautiful thing, I am so glad I was not a picker. Jesus, I would not be able to handle it, like, because either way you're going to be hurting someone, or like imagine both of them don't like you and then you've just got to live with them. It's so awkward, okay? So one person represents their like emotional needs, what they should be with maybe, and then the other person is like their want, like their usual physical type, what they always go for. When I was doing the casting, I hadn't seen Love Triangle and I thought, God, this sounds awful, but then I watched it. We were lucky enough on series 2 to get the opportunity to understand the concept. And I was like, okay, like, obviously there is muggy parts of it, but they are matched by a matchmaker. People did make connections. I thought, it's not as bad as it sounds. Like, I can get on with anyone. Yeah. A really crazy, fun, wild, dramatic experience, all of the above. And even the episodes I've watched so far, like the other couples, I feel like I'm new to watching it because I don't even know what went down with the other couples, because we only saw them once a week at a dinner party and you could barely like get to chat to everyone. Seeing what actually happened in their houses, I was creasing. It's actually hilarious. Like, and some things I'm like, bloody hell, like, can't believe you said that, you know what I mean? And it's like, it's kind of fun to also be watching the show with fresh eyes with you guys, as well as like seeing what I did and said. And you gotta remember, this was filmed a while ago. Like, I have no recollection of saying things. Like, in my intro, I already cringed myself out. I was like, oh, I'm very high energy, you'll need a lot of energy to date me. Why did I actually say that? Because I'm in every night. Like, I consider myself an introvert, so I don't know why I said that. I think I meant because I'm a lot to deal with for the boy, but it came out like, oh, I'm so high energy. Like, shut up, Sadie, shut up. Like, I've got this lilac blush from Huda Beauty, but it actually comes out more pink. It's really cool. I'm not going to be talking through every product I use. Like, I'll just put it in the description if you want to know what I've used, or just message and I will let you know. Also, like, in my intro, they filmed so many things to tell me why they only put in me doing burlesque dancing, okay? Zoomed in shots of my bum and boobs. Like, this is the price you pay when you go on reality TV. You just don't know what they're gonna use. Like, I was kind of living for it. I was like, low-key a slay, but I just was not expecting to see that on my screen, okay? I think I'm gonna do like a rose gold pinky look today. Hopefully you watch the show. Let me know if you are, what you think about it. Next thing on my agenda to talk about, because we need to have an agenda, you know, when you're catching up with your friend, you need to have like bullet points. So last summer, because this is how long we haven't chatted for, I finally got my ADHD diagnosis, which was long awaited, okay? Like, do you know what's insane? You get the diagnosis and it's not like, okay, now you've got ADHD, like you've just caught a disease. It's, you've had ADHD your whole life, but you're only finding out now. So you kind of like had this weird sense of, I've got to go back through my whole life, realize that's why I did those things, that's why I felt that way, because ADHD, it is a disorder, but it's a difference in your brain. It's a neurodivergence. It's a difference in the way we think and process information and like how we view the world. So it was really relieving to me, because my whole life everything just made sense. Like, it felt like everything just clicked into place like a puzzle, and I felt relieved. I felt this overwhelming sense like, oh my god, it's not my fault that I am this way. Like, this is who I am. Does that make sense? I've spent so much of my life being so ashamed of how messy I am, how much I'm like lazy and can't do things and struggle with things, and I'm oversensitive and I talk too much and I'm fidgety and I can't just act like a normal fucking human, okay? This has completely battered my self-esteem. So to hear that, like, essentially I've got an excuse now for my behaviours, I was like, sweet. No, I wasn't. It's not an excuse. It's an explanation for how I am. I just wanted to give myself a hug, my younger self, and go, oh my god, babe, it's okay. You are just different. It's all right. You're not going to fit in. You're not going to be the same as everyone. And you have just got to find ways of doing things your own way. This blush I also love from Fenty, What a Brat. It's got like a highlight in. Can you see my nail dug it out? Lovely. But you really don't need a lot because it's quite blinding and beaming. They told me I have hyperactive and inattentive. I thought I was only going to have inattentive because a lot of my symptoms don't show up so openly. Like, say how a young boy disrupting the class, I would be more like at the back, like doodling on my book and like daydreaming. So in women it presents differently. But it was funny because she was like, do you fidget a lot? And I was like, no, I don't fidget. And she was like, well, I've been watching you on our video assessment. She's like, you are like this constantly, you touch your hair, you touch your jewelry, you're always moving. And I was like, oh, I didn't know that was fidgeting. I know that sounds stupid. I wasn't aware of so many things I was doing. They go back through your childhood and she's like, do you lose things a lot? Oh, I don't know. She's like, do you forget things? And I realized, like, actually when I thought about it, I was like, oh yeah, I used to just turn up to school without my books, without my tie on, without my blazer. I would turn up late and I would just ask people, like, can I just have a piece of paper and a pen? Like, I was never that organized kid. I'd always forget my P kit. I've just always had this issue of organizing my life, and I don't know, I just feel like I feel like my life's finally started now. I know, like, I know who I am and I'm finally accepting it. Like, of course I've got things to work on, but I can see the light and move on. And also I have access to medication now, which is a fucking game changer, let me tell you that. If you want me to do a more in-depth video about how I got diagnosed, the process of the assessment, everything, anything about ADHD, I am so ready to talk about it, because I have had 29 years of not talking about it. Oh yeah, by the way, I turned 29 the other day. How the fuck am I nearly 30? That's another thing about ADHD. You do not act your age or seem your age. Like, if you always get people saying you seem a lot younger, hopefully they say I look younger, because But if you seem a lot younger, it's because we mature a bit slower. Like even your frontal lobe, you know, everyone says that develops at 25. Ours doesn't develop at 25, which is insane. Like, so we make reckless decisions and we're a bit more impulsive for longer. So that's why people have that childlike energy. But I think that's fun. I think that's a cute thing. It's good to, I think, be young at heart. I can seem like a kid sometimes, especially moving back in with my mum. I do feel like my skills have regressed. Like, I went away for 2 weeks and I was so independent when I'm not with my mum. I'm like cooking loads, cleaning, I've got like everything in order. When I'm with my mum, I'm like, Mom, can you make me a cup of tea? I don't know what it is. That sounds so muggy, poor Emma, but you just kind of, I'm in my childhood bedroom, so I feel like I'm back to being a teenager, even though I'm nearly 30, and like it's kind of a bit sad. No, it's not sad to live with your parents. Like, in this fucking economy, in the cos he lives, I love it. It's the best decision I ever made. I feel so at peace with life living back with my mom. I think, why not? If you get on with your family, what an amazing decision. You can save money, spend more time with my mum. Like, before you know it, you'll be moved out, hopefully with a husband, and it'll be like, oh, really, really cherish those times. Also going to use a Sculpture by Amy palette. No, this is not sponsored by Sculpture by Amy. If you want to sponsor me, why would she want to sponsor a YouTuber who hasn't posted in 6 months? She wouldn't. That's crazy. But if you do, just call me. I just completely flipped topics again. Yeah, my ADHD medication, I was so against it, and so was my mum, because it is scary, because it sounds like it's gonna change your personality, and like you hear all these horror stories, because essentially it is a stimulant drug. It is Ritalin, and I just, yeah, you just read all the bad stuff, but the doctors have been so good at putting me at ease. She was literally saying, like, you know, it's short acting, it only lasts 4 hours. If you don't like it, you just don't have to take it again. It's not, say, like an antidepressant where you have to keep taking it. It's very like instant. So I take it, and afterwards I can either take another one, or I can be like, that's me for the day. And you can have breaks like at the weekend and things, if you're drinking, or if there's a reason you don't want to be that productive that day, you're just chilling at home, you might not want to take it. So I took the smallest dose, and she was saying, like, you know, little tiny kids take this and they're fine. I was so nervous, so scared, and I took it and I was like, wow, like I wanted to cry, because I was like, I've been depriving myself of this my whole life. One, because I didn't have a diagnosis, and two, because I was so scared to take it, that I could have, you know, been functioning more and get things I want to get done and do what I want to do. That's amazing that this tiny little pill can make me feel like that and make me feel so empowered. Like, the main thing I could not believe is my overthinking. My brain was so nice, like so calm, and I didn't have a million song lyrics in my head, or like constant thoughts like everyone hates you, you're a failure, you're a piece of shit, you're fat, you know, like what we get when we overthink. It's like your brain goes into this one track mind, so you can focus. I haven't actually taken them today. Then I took it now and I was doing my eyeshadow. I would just be thinking about doing my eyeshadow rather than the million things I've got to do later, and like the meaning of life and stuff. And the thing is, when you overthink, I overthink myself into a downward spiral, and I think that's why my self-esteem was bad, why I was getting anxiety. I don't get as much anxiety. Like, anxiety and depression are symptoms of untreated ADHD. When I have my medication, I feel like, one, I can get up and do things, so I don't feel depressed. Two, I don't overthink, so I don't get anxiety. So I'm like, wow, all this time this has helped me this much. Obviously it's not perfect. Sometimes I still focus on the wrong thing. I'll go, oh, do you know what I really want to do? Organize my sock drawer. Or I'll go down this like Google research hole, but I'll really lock in, and like an hour and a half will pass and I think, oh fuck, I was meant to do other stuff. So you're still, your ADHD is still there. It's not gonna completely eradicate it, but I feel like it's just a little helping hand, and I'm so grateful, and I just, yeah, I'm so lucky, because I know how hard it is to get diagnosed with ADHD. I will do a video. All I'll say is do the right to choose pathway. That will get you there way quicker than the NHS pathway. Washed all my makeup brushes last night, which is something I always put off doing, but I feel they're better when they've got a bit of makeup in them, like they haven't had time to marinate. And I know that sounds disgusting, but I also hope you know what I mean. Like, when they're this clean, they don't blend. Like, I don't know. My other update is, I don't even want to say it because you're gonna hate me. No, you're gonna hate me. I hate myself. No, I don't. No, I don't. I'm okay. So I decided to break my sobriety. I never thought I'd see the day. I never thought I would drink again because I had such a positive sober experience. I got to 11 months, which is amazing. Like, I never give myself enough credit, or I'm proud of myself enough, but that is something I'm very proud for, because if you follow me for a long time, you will know how much a girl loved to drink, how much she was in the bottomless brunches, in the clubs every Saturday, throwing up and embarrassing herself, popping that puss, twerking, you name it. She was on the floor. She loved it, okay? That was her whole identity, Mrs. Party Girl. And now I turned over a new wholesome leaf, a new lifestyle, and I did it for 11 months. And yes, I am fuming I didn't get to a year. Like, why didn't I just wait that one more month? It was so, I don't know, but and part of me was like, low-key, do I just lie and say a year? Do I round up? I feel like I'm allowed to round up. It was a year. It was a year, wasn't it? But no, I'd rather be completely honest. I just felt in such a good place, like mentally, physically. Like, I felt healthy and good and positive, and I thought, I want to be able to have a drink. Like, it was the first time I felt I could handle it. I want to be able to go to a celebration, like my birthday, someone else's birthday, a wedding. I'm just gonna try and not go back to my old crazy ways and, you know, drink in moderation, which is hard for someone who now I know has ADHD, and there is a correlation with alcohol problems and ADHD, because we are attracted to dopamine and we love being reckless, and it is a way to calm our mind down. I think I was loving that feeling of not overthinking, so I would drink, but it makes people with ADHD crazy. Like, it genuinely does. It makes us so reckless, and that's why, like, a few drinks in, you're acting more mad than, like, say your friend who doesn't have ADHD when they're 10 drinks in, because it just trips a switch in the brain. I swear to you, everyone I know that has ADHD, when they drink, they're just liabilities. Hilarious, but it's not so fun, because then the week after you feel so crap. You also feel hangovers more. It makes all your ADHD symptoms worse then. So sometimes I felt it's not worth it, like, one night of fun for a week of feeling shit. Like, and even now, like, I've had a few drinks and I always still feel crap the next day. Like, there's no avoiding it for me. I'm always gonna struggle with hangovers. I feel that comes with age, and just, like, I like to feel good in myself. Feeling ill, shaky, having anxiety, regretting your whole life, and, like, having little heart palpitations in bed, like the dread, throwing up, like, a headache. I don't want that. Like, I don't want my life to just be every Sunday I feel like that. Like, absolutely no thanks. So I'm very limiting when and how much I drink. Like, if I can get it to once a month max or less, then I'll be absolutely grand. I've been nervous to say, because I remember, like, last time I broke my sobriety, I got a message saying, like, oh, I'm unfollowing you because it's triggering. I followed you to, like, get advice on being sober and stuff, which is great, and I love that, like, I've inspired some people or helped some people, but at the end of the day, I have to do what's right for my life and what I want to do, and I can't live my life in fear of, like, oh my god, what will someone on the internet think of me? Do you know what I mean? So yeah, that is my decision. I'm being open about it, and I'll let you know how it goes, because I might be like, do you know what, I want to go back to being sober, or I might slip up and binge drink again and think, shit, wow, it's a slippery slope. So I'm just taking it easy. I don't have much else to talk to you about. Like, still at my job. Oh, I've gone down a few shifts, like down some hours at my job, because I was finding it hard to juggle, like, social media, modeling stuff. I hate saying modeling, because like, I'm not a fucking model, but I am sometimes, you know, like, every now and then, once in a blue moon, I will get a modeling job and I think, fuck me, how did I get that? And it's the best day ever, and I love it, and I'm so grateful, and it's like, that was my dream growing up, was to be a model. And I would remember watching Victoria's Secret catwalks, and I would just think, oh my god, if I could look like them, if I could do that. And I would religiously watch Britain's Next Top Model, and I was like, just manifesting, and then it all came crashing down when an agency told me, basically, like, oh, you're too short and too, they didn't call me fat, but obviously, to be, like, back in the day, to be a proper model, you had to be over 5'8", and you needed to be, like, under size 8, and I've not been that since I was, like, 18. So yeah, it was kind of a reality check. Like, I can't change my height. I used to struggle with my eating, but now I'm happy to be like, this is my natural way. I haven't dieted for years. I would never want to go back to that, but I just kind of like let that dream die that you always kind of wish. And then since doing Instagram content creation, like, I can't believe that then people have found me from that and wanted to work with me as a model. Like, it's insane, like, it's unbelievable. I never thought my life would end up like this, and I do feel like weirdly like, oh my god, you just don't know where your life could go. You don't know what can happen in 10 years, so you do have to stay hopeful, I feel like, with your dreams, because the industry wasn't the same back then. You wouldn't have had body confidence influencers, you wouldn't have had women who had like, didn't have models above a size 10 really, and you definitely wouldn't have models with like belly rolls, cellulite. Like, I can just go on set and be myself. Like, I like eat all the snacks. I don't care, because I'm not trying to make my body look different. The reason I get hired for shoots is because of how my body is, and I just feel so happy and proud and lucky that I get to do that. A few shoots all came, like, it felt like everything came at once. I had shoots, and then obviously I had filming for the show, and like, I just was like really overwhelmed trying to work 3 days a week there. I know 3 days doesn't sound like a lot, but it was. I kept being like, oh, 3 days I'm part-time, but I wasn't part-time because I'm doing Instagram and modeling, right? So it's like, some weeks I would be working the whole week, and it was just overwhelming. I couldn't handle it. I want a soft, easy life. I'm not someone that loves to be working every second of the day. I'm not a hustler. I get very burnt out. People can say that's pathetic, like, but I don't want to subscribe to hustle culture. Like, I do think we should be able to like get a good amount of rest. We should be able to like enjoy time with our friends and have time off. Like, maybe when I was younger I was very tunnel-minded, but now I'm like, no, I want to be able to not feel exhausted every second of the day. So scared to ask my manager, but I wanted to see if I could like work out something where like I come in less shifts, but still work there. I do really like working there. I love the team. I like being creative. Like, it's so fun. But yeah, it was just getting too much, and I was prepared to have to leave, even though that would have taken a financial hit. And they were so supportive and nice about it, so I'm glad that we've worked something out. But apart from that, I mean, that was quite a lot of updates. I don't know why I'm saying it's boring, because there was a lot of updates. This is my makeup. I can't really show you because of the sun, but it's like this gorgeous like rose gold pretty. So yeah, love you loads. Thank you for watching, and hopefully I will see you very, very, very soon.